It's the lifeline of the High Line.
It's the only thing that keeps our town going.
1 year after a pipeline failure, we're back in Babb.
We needed water back in this project, back to the Milk River.
Investigating the impact of this Milk River meltdown. Miles downstream,
It's our lifeline. We need this water.
on everything from drinking water
We've been left out without water.
to irrigation. And we look ahead as the water is turned back on. And what it means to the High Line. This special edition of your MTN 530 News starts now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tim McGonigal coming to you tonight from just outside Babb near the headwaters of the Milk River. And tonight we're marking a major milestone. That's because the St. Mary siphon has been repaired, and that allows for water once again to be diverted from the St. Mary River to the Milk River by way of this canal behind me. Now, as you might remember, it was 1 year ago that the canal siphon suffered a catastrophic failure, leaving communities in limbo. 18,000 Montanans rely on the Milk River for their drinking water. Upwards of 700 farms and ranches also depend on that water to irrigate their crops. And without this siphon at the heart of the High Line, the Milk River would run dry most years. From here in Babb, the Milk River flows north, supplying water to a few Canadian communities before then re-entering Montana, providing water to the High Line and numerous towns along its banks. Over the next half hour, we're going to be taking you along the 729-mile stretch of the Milk River, bringing you stories along its path to show you just how vital this water is. But first, even though the siphon is repaired, as I found out, we're still a long ways from being in the clear. The reopening of the St. Mary diversion recently was more than 100 years in the making.
It's big for the Milk River project to have water back.
As water slowly crept along a parched canal bottom between the diversion and the now repaired siphon, project manager Jennifer Patrick admitted to a little anxiety.
Well, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for today. Not for me, but these guys have put their heart and soul into this for the last year.
Fixing the St. Mary siphon stretches far beyond the banks of the Milk River.
That's about 700 farms. And then from Fresno down, you have about 18,000 people, which are municipalities, which are like Havre, Chinook, Harlem, the agency.
While the siphon was down, irrigation was a fraction of normal.
We didn't know how we were going to pay for this in the beginning. So, I mean, this is a $70 million project, and on 120,000 acres, it really doesn't pencil out with our commodity prices right now.
Social media video shows the moment water once again reached the St. Mary siphon. With state, federal, and tribal interests working together, siphon repairs came together faster than anticipated.
At the time, we expected the whole project to last till September, and due to the incredible work of the crews and all of our partnerships, we are almost 3 months ahead of schedule.
Money for the fix came from federal and state funds. A job that wasn't without obstacles.
We fought through this winter. Would probably be the biggest factor there is just working through the cold, -20 temperatures. All contractors did that and accelerated that schedule, just being able to push through the cold temps.
But the project isn't fully finished. Just 6 miles away sits the Halls Coulee siphon, another 100-year-old plus structure.
We're trying to be proactive.
Part of that fix will require shutting off the water August 15th, giving Fresno Reservoir a good 45 days to fill.
So all water will be shut off just because of the construction, the safety of the crews. We need to get into that area to work on construction, and so we need that space.
Although it's hard to hide the nerves, Patrick remains confident in the crew.
And then once we get shut down, we want to look at the structures, we want to look at where we're at, make sure everything ran fine. I know it will.
As we told you, some predicted catastrophic damage here in Babb long before it actually happened. Back in 2020, a concrete structure on the 29-mile canal collapsed, depriving some irrigators of water. And 2 years before that, many were sounding the alarm. In 2018, we spoke with the then mayor of Chinook, Keith Hansen, also a local ag producer. Both warned our MTN crews it was only a matter of time.
It might be a year, it could be 10 years, or who knows, but when it fails, it would be pretty catastrophic.
Our town would fail. It just would. We have to rely on the federal and the state governments to get together to allow those extra dollars for infrastructure.
Funding for major repairs has long been a constant challenge. The federal government paid for the creation of the siphon, but the state has had to shoulder much of the costs of maintaining it. In 2007, Congress authorized $153 million for upgrades as part of the Water Resources Development Act, but those funds were never appropriated, so nothing moved forward. The impacts of the siphon failure are perhaps most visible at Fresno Reservoir near Havre, which supplies drinking and irrigation water to thousands of Montanans downstream. And tonight, that's where we find MTN's Tom Wiley, in a place where you normally couldn't stand.
That's right, Tim. I'm standing here in the middle of Fresno Reservoir, about 500 feet from where the lake shore usually is. In most years, under normal circumstances, I would be several feet underwater, but as you can see, the lake bed here is dry. It's a sight that's even scarier from above if you're one of the hundreds of families that live downstream and rely on this water. The Fresno provides water for the communities of Havre, Chinook, Harlem, and Fort Belknap. Residents on the High Line have long taken their water supply for granted, but when the siphons failed and the flow from the Milk River stopped, they quickly learned that water is a finite resource.
Currently, right now, the St. Mary's siphon artificially supplies the Milk River for year-round water supply for our communities along the Milk River Valley.
Levels at Fresno Reservoir have fallen to around 10%. Officials say it's losing a couple of inches every day. That's a huge concern for Havre, home to about 10,000 residents.
It's getting a little tight. Would be fine if it was November, but being as we're coming into the hot time of year, it's unpredictable what may come.
Are we going to be okay, you know? And
the situation is similar at Fort Belknap, where the Milk River provides water for roughly 2,500 people.
you know, we need this water. The water is used for everything, for cooking, cleaning, sewer. You know, so it really is the lifeline of the community.
Fort Belknap is taking steps to reduce that risk, planning to drill a backup well in case the river runs dry.
We're already looking for another water source. That started when the failure happened. Yeah. We had a group of people at planning and another lady for irrigation get together and collaborate and start brainstorming, and they come up with a plan and got a grant, and it's going to move forward.
Meanwhile, in Havre, officials have been talking with state and federal agencies and even communities in Canada about what to do if water supplies fall below critical levels.
A lot of those actions are if our water supply becomes drastically low or doesn't exist. How do we get water to our community for those essential needs of drinking water, health and hygiene, and then the case of fire suppression?
With the St. Mary's diversion back online, water is expected to return, but it could take weeks for levels to rise, and there's still uncertainty about the quality of water once it arrives.
It'll just be that first few days it hits Fresno. We're hoping that it mixes somewhere here and there. Hopefully there's some rains that come. That way we're getting a good mix of water qualities from many sources.
It's a reminder of just how fragile this century-old system has become and how crucial every drop of water is for communities across the High Line.
We all take it for granted, and now that we're in this situation, it's kind of like a reality. Like, you know, like what if this did happen?
The St. Mary's siphon is back up and running and water is flowing, but it's going to take a while before Fresno Reservoir fills back up. As you can see, water levels are well below average, 31 feet below the spillway and currently considered 10% full. Fresno is one of two reservoirs being fed by the Milk River. The other is Nelson Reservoir near Malta. While many depend on these reservoirs for drinking water, most of this water is used for irrigation. There are 140,000 acres of irrigated farmland along the Milk River, and ag producers lost about half of the water needed to make it through 2024. Many did their best to ration water, but some did have to make the difficult decision to leave tens of thousands of acres dry this season.
Water has a value, and it's invaluable to an irrigated producer. And 6 out of 10 years, the Milk River would run dry without St. Mary water transferred into it. And in dry years, it's 100%, because this is an example of a dry year. We're about 50% of our normal moisture precipitation, and that's why they created the irrigation system, to have a constant, sustainable water system.
Well, even though the siphon at St. Mary's has been turned back on, it's going to take a long time to fill back up. We're told that with the current conditions and dry riverbed, it'll take 14 to 21 days before the water released in St. Mary makes it to the Fresno Reservoir. We're going to take you from one lake to another one. After the water here at Fresno Reservoir goes over the spillway, it flows hundreds of miles east to the edge of Fort Peck. Well, it finally merges with the Missouri River, and that's where we find MTN's Owen Skornick-Hayes.
That's right, Tom. I'm here on the spillway in eastern Fort Peck, less than a mile from where the Milk River merges with the mighty Missouri. And though the Milk River ends here, its impact certainly doesn't. The Milk River has a big influence on the sediment and temperatures in the Missouri River, which in turn impacts fish and other wildlife. During years with high river flows, water from the Milk supports expanded populations of fish like paddlefish and sturgeon and encourages spawning that might not otherwise happen. Water from both the Missouri and Milk also provide irrigation and drinking water to farmers and ranchers and countless communities downstream. Parts of Montana often strapped for water and stricken by drought.
It's not hip high, it's not ankle high, and this has been in the ground for 90 days. It's a 100-day crop, so yeah, well, we live in a semi-arid desert. Enjoy it.
The entire stretch of the Milk River irrigation project is currently in drought, which could worsen over the next couple of months. And for more on that outlook, with the hottest months of summer still in front of us, let's send it back to our KRTV studios and Chief Meteorologist Ryan Dennis.
Thanks, Owen. Yeah, drought conditions are expected to worsen as we go through the rest of this summer. In Montana, June is typically one of our wettest months, and we did receive some beneficial moisture, but most locations, especially within the northern half of Montana, received less than what we typically do during the month of June. So drought conditions have already worsened over the past month, and the worst drought conditions are in northern and western Montana, especially in the Golden Triangle area, as well as along the western half of the Highline and along the Rocky Mountain front. That's where we are dealing with severe to even extreme drought conditions right now. Along central and eastern portions of the Highline, we're also dealing with drought conditions, but not quite as bad as it is along the Rocky Mountain front, as we're just dealing with moderate to severe drought conditions. As we go through the rest of this summer and into the beginning of meteorological fall, drought conditions are expected to persist or even worsen, as we are going to have above average temperatures and drier than average conditions. So definitely not good news for those of us in the Treasure State. Tom?
Thanks, Ryan. We're going to head back to the Milk River in Babb, where Tim McGonigal has more on this project. But first, let's get you caught up on the rest of the day's news, including a warning from health officials why they say ice sold across Cascade County may not be safe to consume. A Helena man mistakenly taken into federal immigration custody is now getting a temporary reprieve, a judge blocking his removal from Montana, at least for now. Those stories when we come back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. A warning tonight from the Cascade City County Health Department. Officials say Great Falls Ice Co. is not operating as a licensed vendor. This means the company is not certified under local health or safety regulations. The health department says ice from this vendor has been sold to retail locations throughout Cascade County, and according to the health department, the ice may be contaminated and may not be safe for human consumption. Today, the health department directed Great Falls Ice Co. to discontinue all ice production until the facility meets licensing requirements. We have an update tonight on the ice arrest in Helena. A federal judge has ordered Christopher Martinez not to be removed from the state. The judge says his case is being considered in the United States District Court for the District of Montana. The judge has issued the order and set a hearing date for July 10th at the federal courthouse in Missoula.
There have been some scattered showers and thunderstorms around today. More precipitation is in the forecast as we go through the next few days. More details about that after the break.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Ryan Dennis.
Welcome back, everyone. It is hot outside right now. Temperatures are in the 90s and the upper 80s in most spots. 96 in Malta, 99 degrees in Glasgow right now, 95 in Havre, 88 degrees in Great Falls, and then the cool spot is 72 degrees in Lewistown. That's because we have some precipitation within Fergus County as well as Judith Basin County. On the Great Falls Clinic ICAM, we had increasing clouds this morning. We have had partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon and the evening. In Helena, same thing, increasing clouds throughout the morning with partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon and the evening on the Opportunity Bank of Montana weather camera. This morning we were mainly dry, but there have been some scattered showers and thunderstorms around for the past several hours. We've seen some of that precipitation around the Helena area, especially within Marr County. Then in north central Montana, a lot of us have been dry for a majority of today, but we are seeing some showers and thunderstorms within Judith Basin County and Fergus County, and some of these thunderstorms are producing lots of lightning, gusty winds, as well as small hail. Then there are a few showers and thunderstorms near the Canadian border within northern Phillips County and northern Valley County right now. We could potentially see a couple severe thunderstorms as we go through the rest of today, especially in this yellow shaded area. If we do see any severe thunderstorms, damaging winds potentially up to 70 miles per hour will be the main hazard, so please keep an eye to the sky if you are going to be outdoors at all this evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue this evening and the first half of tonight, but as we go through tonight, those showers and thunderstorms will taper off. So during the second half of the night, mostly dry conditions are expected, and we are going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we are going to have a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. Dry during the morning as we head into the afternoon and the evening. There will be a few showers and thunderstorms in central Montana, including around the Helena and Lewistown areas. For most of us in north central Montana, though, we are going to have dry conditions during the day tomorrow. Skies clear out as we go through tomorrow night, and then as we head into the 4th of July, we are going to have increasing clouds from southwest to northeast. Should be dry during the morning, but as we head into the afternoon and the evening, showers and thunderstorms are likely around the Helena area. There will be scattered showers and thunderstorms within north central Montana as well. Now, the wind will diminish as we go through this evening, but it will be breezy overnight tonight along the Rocky Mountain front. Then forward tomorrow, along the Rocky Mountain front, gusty winds are expected. Could see a few gusts approaching 50 miles per hour times. Elsewhere, it will be a bit breezy tomorrow. Sustained wind speeds generally between 10 and 20 miles per hour. That wind will then diminish as we head into tomorrow night. A fairly mild, even warm night tonight. Low temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 50s and low to mid 60s in most locations. Then for your day tomorrow, high temperatures are going to be topping out in the mid to upper 80s and lower 90s around Helena. In north central Montana, it's going to be another hot day, but slightly cooler than it was today. As highs are going to be in the mid to upper 80s and low to mid 90s. Temperatures cool down as we head into the 4th of July and Saturday, a high of only 70 on Saturday in Great Falls. Scattered showers and thunderstorms later in the day on 4th of July, and then showers are likely as we head into Saturday. Sunnier, warmer, and drier as we head into Sunday and next week. In Helena, showers and thunderstorms are likely Friday afternoon and evening, a high of 74. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. We warm back up with lots of sunshine for Sunday next week.
A rare honor at the Montana State Capitol. A former congressman lies in state as loved ones and leaders reflect on his decades of service. Just ahead, we hear from his daughter.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Today at the Montana State Capitol, visitors paid their respects to a man who served the state for decades. Former Congressman Pat Williams is lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has more from his daughter.
It's a rare honor for a Montana leader to lie in state at the state capitol. It's happened 4 times in the last 12 years. And on Wednesday, the latest to receive that honor was 9-term Congressman Pat Williams.
Yeah, Dad, many years ago, told us what an honor it would be if he could lie in state. He served here in the Montana legislature from the Butte, one of the Butte House districts. We're deeply, deeply grateful to Governor Gianforte and the staff here in the Capitol.
Whitney Williams is Pat Williams' daughter. She says her family has received an outpouring of support in recent days.
Yeah, it is a very tough time for our family, but we are really grateful that so many people have expressed their both condolences and their remembrances about our dear dad.
Williams spent 18 years representing Montana in the U.S. House, from 1979 to 1997. People I talked to Wednesday said they'll remember his dedication to service, the way he related to everyday Montanans, and his love of the state.
He was so kind, and he worked so hard to bring people together. You know, that was a time, especially in America, when Dad was serving, that people did work together to get things done for folks. And I think that that is very present, that remembrance of him.
Congressman Pat Williams will be lying in state here in the Capitol Rotunda until 11 a.m. on Thursday. You can come and pay your respects during the Capitol's normal operating hours. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Well, don't go away. We'll check back in with Tim McGonigal up in Babb when we come back. Stay with us.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. We join you one final time tonight from the St. Mary Canal, which once again is carrying water to the St. Mary Siphon in Babb. It's a project that we have shown you so far tonight, and it's so critical to many Montanans. Now, despite its flaws, the siphon and the canals are a true engineering feat, built back at the turn of the 20th century, more than 100 years ago, authorized by then U.S. Department of Interior Secretary Ethan Allen Hitchcock, who served for the Theodore Roosevelt administration. Our reporting on this subject doesn't go back quite that far, but it does go back several years, and you can revisit some of those stories, including interviews with the people who predicted that this collapse would happen. You can do that by visiting our website at krtv.com. For now, that's going to do it for us. We're going to leave you tonight with some of the sights and sounds of the Milk River. Have a great night. I'm Tim McGonigal.